Another thing that is old is the chat function. This is old in a couple of different ways. Obviously, on a site like Facebook, you have the ability to chat online with any of your friends who are online. This is also old because what you're seeing here is in fact your Google chat list. So it's the same chat list that you see if you're logged into Gmail or if you have a chat function turned on on the iGoogle homepage or things like that. So in fact, the people that are listed in this chat function, which was my chat window on Google+, are not even all necessarily people I'm connected to on Google+. Some of them are just other Google contacts of mine. So it is, what you'd expect it to be with Google. It's drawing on your full list of Gmail contacts, but it's not anything that we haven't seen before. So then some of the new things. I talked a little bit about circles, and basically what circles are is when people add you on Google+, or when you add someone else, you get to choose which of your circles you want to put them in. And Google+ really asks you to do that every time you're adding someone. It's very similar, and in fact almost exactly the same, with Facebook's groups function. Facebook does have the ability for you to add people into groups and then determine that particular groups are going to see some content and not others. Now, Facebook doesn't necessarily let you say, I want this particular post seen by a particular group, but they do say, I want my posts in general to be seen by this group but not this group. Google+ is saying, okay, you're going to take every single contact of yours, and each person you're going to stick into at least one circle, or else that contact is going to be shown as not appearing in any of your circles, which appears as this red button, as opposed to when they're in a circle, it's this nice green button. So it's really sort of this warning. You really want to add people into your circles, and Google+ is really trying to get you to do that. And then, as we saw with the posting, every time you post something on Google+, you're choosing which of your circles you want to have see this post. And you can let all circles see it, but it is really even more than Facebook groups, allowing you to say, yes, this particular group of people are people that should see this. This other group is not necessarily so appropriate for them. So this is a sort of a new thing that Google+ is doing here. Circles is also sort of a more likable way of putting it. There's an aphorism that we use called circles of friends, right? We've all talked about we have circles of friends, and so so Google+ is really drawing on that. And you can see here that that this friends circle that I'm looking at here, the description is your real friends, the one you feel comfortable sharing private details with. Now that's Google+'s default definition of this friend circle, and the friend circle is, in fact, a default circle. But you can edit that description and to sort of help you remember who these people are. So when I created the pivot circle, that would be, I could easily write a description that said, my coworkers, or if I wanted, I can call a circle whatever I want to, and sort of add a description that's going to remind me what that circle is all about, if that's the sort of thing I need. And then Google+ has this really attractive way of viewing circles, and one person referred to this as the power of a metaphor. Again, it's sort of going with the graphical interest and doing a better job than Facebook, I think, or Twitter, or any of the social media sites, of really, helping you see, who's in this particular circle. Now, so far, I've only sort of lumped all of my friends into this one friend circle. But I can imagine breaking them out into high school friends, college friends, graduate school friends. So then when you see this circle representation here, you would really see much more of something that looks like almost like a group photo from college or something like that. So again, they've done a really great job here of giving you a good way of thinking about your friends groups. Another thing that's new and I spent a while on circles because that I think is the primary feature, a new feature of Google+. Another thing that's new is called Sparks. This is a way of adding in a list of some of your interests. It's a list that people can view so they can see what your interests are, but it also then uses the power of Google, because Google Plus is, of course, integrated within the whole Google system, so that it sort of gives you your own personalized news feed about your interests. So when I put in music as an interest, it's giving me the top headlines that have to do with music, that would be tagged having to do with music. And so, this is Google Plus drawing on Google's search function to say, okay, go ahead and put in your interests, and we're going to anytime you view that interest, view that spark is what they're calling it, we're going to give you a bunch of articles that are going to be interesting to you based on that spark that you've indicated is something you enjoy. Another new feature, and the last one that I'll point out here is Hangouts. I actually didn't realize when I first clicked on the Hangout button, or click on the button that said, just click here to start a Hangout is what it said. Well, I didn't realize when I first clicked on it that it was in fact going to open up my video camera on my computer and start showing me, but it did, and there I was all of a sudden. And then I could click this Hangout button, and I could inform my circles or tell people that a Hangout was starting. If you invite people to join a Hangout, a post is going to appear in their stream, which again is like their homepage feed, telling them that there's a Hangout going on, and also showing them who all the people are who are currently hanging out. If 25 or fewer people are invited to a Hangout, they're actually going to receive a specific notification, probably to their email, that they've been invited to this Hangout. So this is a way that Google Plus is trying to sort of take social media a step further and connect people, and even in groups via video chat, to sort of facilitate face-to-face interactions, still not in-person interactions physically, but face-to-face interactions where you're actually seeing people and getting to spend time with people. Now, I have not tested a Hangout with 3 or 4 people to see how the video chat holds up under those circumstances, but it would be interesting to see what happens to that, or when you do that. And so what are some takeaways about Google+? What are some things that you should be thinking about, especially when it comes to businesses? Well, the first bit of news is that Google+ has told all businesses that they will have to wait for now and will shut down any account that is started by a business. And this even means things as small as your GarageBand. You can't start a Google+ account for anything except an individual right now, and they've been pretty strict about that. And so the advice that's coming out from all sorts of marketing publications is, okay, well Google Plus is saying no for right now, but that doesn't mean that marketers shouldn't start thinking about Google Plus, start learning about its features and thinking about how it could be useful and how its features could be useful once Google Plus does start allowing businesses to jump into the fray. So you will have to wait for now, but that'll be happening soon. Takeaway number 2 and 3 are related. There were 2 great Ad Age articles that came out at the same time, and one was talking about how Google Plus is the next best thing and could replace Facebook, and the next one, which was a great counterpoint, was saying don't get too excited about Google Plus. So the takeaway number 2, Google Plus is all the rage right now, and what the Ad Age article was saying about why it could be really positive is that, first of all, there's the whole power of metaphors idea, that the thinking of your circles of friends is really a more helpful and better way of doing it than any other social media site has happened on so far. Also, they pointed out that Google Plus is what they call a purpose-built annex, not new construction. And what they mean by that is that Google Plus is drawing on the strength of Google, as I showed with the Sparks, with the fact that the chat function is drawing on all of your Google contacts, not just your Google Plus ones. It's really something that is built on this really great and powerful technology of Google, and so it's not something that's totally out of the blue from nowhere. And that's another reason why it could be powerful. This article talked about how Google Plus is a chance for a social media do-over, just a chance for somebody to get it right again. And then finally talked about what it referred to as Facebook rage, just the fact that people are, Facebook is sort of that thing you love to hate, or you have a love-hate relationship with, maybe is a better way to put it. Many people are upset about Facebook's privacy policies, upset about the way that Facebook tends to just change things without consulting its users, and all of a sudden announcing, oh, guess what, new features, and we're not going back. So, we see that rage taking on real form with this hacker group called Anonymous threatening to take Facebook down. And so maybe Google Plus is going to be the thing that rises above all of that. So the next takeaway is its popularity won't last forever. And the Counterpoint article on Ad Age talked about the fact that, first of all, it's just too much work to make the switch over. It's too much work to maintain multiple social media sites. I agree with that point very much. I have created my Google Plus account, but really Facebook is still the one that I'm maintaining on a regular basis. And there's what they called, this article called the Aunt Tilly factor, which is, and what it said, and I love this, it said 10 million people have already signed up, so that was when the article was written. And that's a sign of success. But I'd bet that 99.9% of those are media, tech, and social media junkies, and the other 0.1% are those related to them. So this article was saying, look, it's really just the social media junkies who are really getting excited about this. But the Aunt Tilly factor means that your Aunt Tilly has already figured out how to use Facebook, and it was a leap that she finally took because enough people were on it and telling her about it. She finally said, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. And we've all heard that the biggest population growing on Facebook these days is women over the age of 50. But this article was saying that's not going to happen again. Those people are not going to switch over to Google Plus. They're going to stay on Facebook because they learned one system and don't want to learn something new. And then this article talked about the potential for disaster. It said, what about the spam that I'm already getting? Because the default on Google Plus, when you post a link to share on Google Plus, the default option is to actually email that link to all of your Google contacts. That seems like a real error in Google's thinking, and something that they're definitely not going to want to have people keep doing. They're going to have to think harder about how they want that to work. So these are just some options about why its popularity won't necessarily last forever, in addition to the fact that it's just another hoop for marketers to jump through. It's one more thing that marketers have to learn as they go. And so the final takeaway, it's definitely worth knowing about, if only to be able to talk knowledgeably about it with your customers and continue to be seen as a leader in terms of marketing, especially when it comes time for businesses to join Google+. And so, and what I want to say also, I say and will help you here, if any of you on this call would like an invitation to join Google+, if you haven't received an invitation from anybody else, I'd be more than happy to send you an invitation. Just send me an email to ian@askpivot.com, and I'll send you an invitation over. It's very easy to invite people to Google+. Let me know what email address you'd like me to send the invitation to. So that's all we have today on Google+. There is a question here, which is, can you view someone else's circles? And the answer there is that you can see all people who are in someone else's circle, so you can see that so-and-so has all these other people related in their circles, but you can't see which circles they're in or what those circles are called. So you are safe putting people in particular circles and not worrying about them, not worrying that your friend Fred is going to know that you put him in the annoying circle or something like that. So that sort of thing. So that's the answer there. And it looks like we're out of time. So thank you all so much for your time today. Just note about the next Straight Talk on Social Media webinar. That will be 2 weeks from today, Friday, August 26th. And I'll be talking about where and how to focus your social media efforts. It occurs to me that with increasing options in terms of social media, you may be sort of wondering what are the things that you really need to do. And so I'm going to sort of give you a punch list of the things that are still the most important to do and to think about in terms of social media. For those of you who are our telecommunications clients, the next Straight Talk on Telco Marketing webinar with Dave will be Wednesday, August 31st at 11 o'clock Pacific time, the last Wednesday of the month. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us today. Have a great weekend, and remember to keep your media social and your talk straight.